Pastrnak, who had gone all the way to center ice, goes right in and scores! David Pastrnak wins it for Boston!
Hey there, and welcome back to NHL CHIRP. In today's vid, we're going to spill the beans on McDavid's pre-draft jitters, celebrate the Bruins' latest record-breaking feat, and check out the nominees for the NHL's prestigious Bill Masterton Trophy, featuring the one and only Brock Boeser and Zach Parise. It's not all sunshine and rainbows for the Bruins just yet. Winning the Stanley Cup is still the ultimate goal, and they're not going to let their shiny new record distract them from the prize. These guys have been crushing it all season long, and they did it again in their game against the Flyers. They beat them 5-3 with David Pastrnak leading the way with a hat trick, bringing his total goals for the season to a whopping 60 and his career goals to 300. That's some serious skill right there. But let's not forget, the Bruins have bigger fish to fry. They're not just here to break records. They're here to win the whole damn thing. So let's give it up for the Bruins, but also keep our eyes on the prize. Who's ready for some playoff action? Let's go! Listen up, folks. The Boston Bruins are making some serious history in the NHL. They're on the verge of becoming the first team with the best regular season record to take home the Stanley Cup since Chicago did it in 2012-13, which was shortened due to a lockout. And you know what? They're not just satisfied with breaking records, they're gunning for something even bigger. When asked about their impressive record, star player Pastrnak said, "Obviously, the record is amazing, but we are building towards something bigger than the NHL record. That's our focus." Whoa, talk about aiming high. The Bruins still have 2 games left in the regular season, so who knows how high they'll climb on that leaderboard. But get this, they're not even sweating the upcoming playoffs. They're so confident in their skills that they're resting some of their top players to prepare for the postseason. And guess what? They're still winning. They've won 9 of their last 10 games, even with some tired, older, or injured players sitting out. Despite missing key players like Patrice Bergeron and Charlie McAvoy, the Bruins are still dominating the rink. Even the Flyers coach had to give them props, saying, "They had some people out, but that's still a really good hockey team." And don't get it twisted, they're not just beating up on the bad teams. They took down the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New Jersey Devils, who are both fighting for a spot in the playoffs. So, how are they doing it? With some serious depth in their roster. That's how. They take care of business each night and each day, and it's paying off big time. As Charlie Coyle, one of their centers, said, "You take care of each night and each day, and that slowly adds up." Looks like the Bruins are taking care of business and having some fun while doing it. Hey there! So Coyle spilled the beans on the Bruins' secret sauce for late-season success. Apparently, the team leaders were all about setting goals and milestones throughout the year, like taking down tough opponents or going on a wild road trip. It's like a game within the game, you know? But once they had clinched the top spot, they set their sights on smashing the wins record, just for kicks. Coyle was all like, "We hope it's just the beginning, but it's definitely something you can take pride in, and it shows what we've accomplished this year." I mean, who doesn't love a bit of friendly competition, right? Now, while the Bruins have a solid squad with 4 solid lines and 3 defensive pairings, one guy stood out from the crowd, Pastrnak. He's been killing it offensively and is only 4 goals away from being the league's top scorer. Plus, he's only the second Bruin ever to score at least 60 goals. The last time 2 players scored 60 goals in a single season was way back in 1995-96 when Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr did it for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Wild! Pastrnak had some pretty inspiring words about his impressive goal-scoring feat too. Apparently, his former line-mate, Brad Marchand, told him to always aim to score 10 more goals than he thinks he's capable of. And Pastrnak, who thought 50 was his limit, ended up hitting 60. That's what you call aiming high, folks. Now, as for the playoffs, the Bruins are still waiting to find out who their opponent will be. The Panthers, Islanders, Penguins, and Sabres are battling it out for the last 2 spots, so it's anyone's guess. Oh, and get this. The Bruins could actually set another record in their next 2 games. They're just 1 point behind the 1976-77 Montreal Canadiens for the most points in a season. That's a pretty impressive feat, especially since back then teams only played 80 games and only got 1 point for a tie. Nowadays, teams play 82 games and get points for all sorts of things. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, folks. Winning the most games and earning the most points is great, but if the Bruins don't win the Stanley Cup, it'll all be for nothing. That's what their coach, Jim Montgomery, reckons anyway. He's all about staying present and not getting too far ahead of themselves. So, for now, the Bruins are focused on April 17th, when the playoffs kick off. Game on. If you're enjoying this video, smash that like button and hit subscribe. Show us some love and let's keep this party going. Alrighty then, let's shift gears and talk about our boy McDavid, who's feeling the heat before the big draft. That's right. He's got the pressure cooker turned up to full blast and he's feeling the burn, baby. But you know what they say, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So let's hope McDavid's got some tough skin and can handle the heat, because he's about to get thrown into the frying pan. Yo guys, McDavid's been talking about some real stuff lately, and we're here for it. Whole country know your name before you even got to play with the big boys. Talk about intense. But this guy didn't let it get to him too much. He said it was motivating to hear people comparing him to Sidney Crosby, but at the same time, he didn't want to be a bust. Can you blame him? Nobody wants to be that guy. So how did McDavid handle the pressure? By working his butt off, that's how. And it worked, because we all know he's killing it out there. And now there's a new kid on the block, Bedard, who's being compared to McDavid himself. Talk about some serious pressure for a 17-year-old. Alrighty, folks, let's keep the party going because we've got some seriously tough competition up for the NHL's Bill Masterton Trophy. We're talking about Brock Boeser and Zach Parise, two players who have been absolutely killing it on the ice this season. These two former UND superstars are in the running for the NHL's Bill Masterton Trophy, which is given to the player who embodies perseverance, sportsmanship, and dedication to hockey. Brock Boeser of the Vancouver Canucks and Zach Parise of the New York Islanders are representing their respective teams. The nominations were made by the Professional Hockey Writers Association's local chapters. The competition is tough, folks. It'll get narrowed down to 3 finalists before the winner is announced. This award has been around since 1968, so you know it's a big deal. Fun fact, UND has produced one previous winner of this prestigious award. Jason Blake won it in 2007, 0-8 after playing in all 82 games despite being diagnosed with leukemia. Boeser has had a rough season, losing his father to cancer in May 2022. He's battled through injuries, being scratched on Hockey Fight's cancer night, and even rumors of being traded. Despite all this, he's almost matched his career high in points and won Vancouver's Daniel and Henrik Sedin Award for community leadership. Boeser's contributions to the community are impressive, to say the least. He donates money and buys tickets for children fighting illness or injury. Plus, he's created a program called Pucks for Parkinson's, where he donates $1,000 for every goal he scores in honor of his father. As for Parise, he's having a revival in New York. Despite being 38 years old and on a 1-year contract with a league minimum salary, he's managed to score 21 goals this season. That's the 11th time he's hit the 20-goal mark in his career. Both of these guys played for UND, which makes us extra proud. Boeser helped the Fighting Hawks win the 2016 NCAA National Championship and even had 4 points in the NCAA title game. Parise was a Hobey Baker Award finalist in both of his seasons at UND and even made it to the top 3 as a sophomore. We're rooting for these two UND alums to bring home the trophy. Well, folks, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as we enjoyed making it. If you're hungry for more of the good stuff, be sure to check out our other videos and subscribe to our channel. We're always cooking up something fresh and exciting, so stay tuned. And remember, if you liked what you saw, give us a like and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching, and if you haven't watched yesterday's NHL Chirps yet, click the video you see on screen now.